Do you know what stops most people from speaking English? It's not grammar. It's not vocabulary. It's fear. The fear of being judged, of making mistakes, of being laughed at. You know what's worse? That fear keeps you silent. It kills your progress before you even start. But let me tell you something powerful. No one ever learned English by staying silent. You learn by speaking, by failing, by trying again. Think about it. Every fluent speaker you admire today was once a beginner. They didn't have perfect grammar. They just had the courage to open their mouths and speak. The moment you decide to speak without fear, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your fluency improves, and slowly you realize it was never about being perfect. It was about being brave. This video isn't just about learning English. It's about freeing yourself from fear, doubt, and hesitation. It's about finding your voice and using it proudly, no matter who's listening. So today, let's begin this journey together. From fear to freedom, from silence to confidence. Let's learn how to speak English without fear. Part 1. The fear inside you. Let's be honest. When you try to speak English, something happens inside you. Your heart beats faster, your mouth goes dry. You start thinking, what if I say it wrong? Or, what if they laugh at me? That's the fear, a quiet, invisible enemy that lives in your mind. It whispers lies like, you're not good enough, or you'll make a fool of yourself. And before you even open your mouth, fear shuts it for you. But here's the truth. Everyone feels that fear. Even native speakers get nervous when speaking in front of others. The difference is, confident people speak despite the fear. They don't wait for fear to disappear. They walk straight through it. Every time you speak, even when your voice shakes, you weaken that fear a little more. Step by step, your confidence grows. Not because fear is gone, but because you've learned to control it. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times, but they never say, I'm afraid to try again. They stand up, wobble, and keep moving forward. That's exactly how you must treat your English journey. Each word you speak, even imperfectly, is one step closer to fluency. You see, fear feeds on silence. The more you stay quiet, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you speak, even one simple sentence, you starve that fear. You prove to yourself, yes, I can do this. And that moment changes everything. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward in spite of it. So the next time fear says, don't speak, smile and say, watch me. That's how your transformation begins. By facing the fear inside you and speaking anyway. Part 2. Everyone starts somewhere. Every fluent English speaker you admire today, every YouTuber, every speaker, every confident person you see, once stood exactly where you are now. They struggled. They forgot words. They mixed up tenses. They froze mid-sentence. But here's what separates them from those who gave up. They kept speaking. They understood one truth. No one starts perfectly. Everyone starts somewhere. Think about it. When a baby begins to talk, they don't worry about grammar or pronunciation. They just try. They make mistakes, and parents cheer them on for every little word. That's how real learning works, through courage, not perfection. But as we grow older, we become too self-conscious. We want to sound perfect before we even begin, forgetting that perfection is a destination, not a starting point. The first time you speak English in public, it might feel awkward. You'll hesitate, search for words, maybe even mispronounce something. But that's normal. That's how growth looks. Every successful English speaker has a long list of embarrassing moments behind them. The difference is, they didn't let those moments define them. They saw them as steps, not failures. Your journey will be the same. You'll start small, maybe with short sentences or daily conversations with yourself. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. But that day will never arrive if you don't start today. So stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. They're ahead because they started earlier. Now it's your turn. Your progress might be slow, but slow progress is still progress. Remember, even the tallest tree started as a tiny seed. So speak, even if your voice trembles. Speak, even if you don't have the right words yet. Because every sentence you say today is building the confidence you'll have tomorrow. Everyone starts somewhere. Make sure you start here, now, today. Part 3. Speak to learn, not to impress. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is trying to sound impressive instead of trying to improve. You see, when you speak just to impress others, fear takes control. You start worrying about how you sound, what others think, and whether you made a mistake. But when you speak to learn, the pressure disappears. You begin to enjoy the process instead of fearing it. Fluency isn't about using big, complicated words. It's about expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently. The real goal isn't to sound like someone else. It's to communicate like you. When you focus on learning, you allow yourself to be human. You give yourself permission to make mistakes, to try again, and to grow. Every time you speak, you get a little better. Not because you're perfect, but because you practice. Think of every conversation as a classroom. Every mistake is a lesson. Every word is progress. When you shift your goal from I want to sound perfect to I want to learn something new, English becomes easier. It becomes fun. You stop judging yourself and start observing how much you're improving. The truth is, no one really cares if you make a mistake. Most people are focused on their own lives. And those who judge, they're usually the ones who never tried. So don't waste your energy trying to impress them. Speak for you. Speak because you want to grow, to connect, to expand your world. The more you focus on learning, the more impressive you naturally become. Confidence is magnetic. It doesn't come from showing off. It comes from being authentic. So, speak with honesty. Speak with curiosity. Forget about impressing others. You're not here to perform. You're here to progress. Remember this. The goal is progress, not perfection. Speak to learn, not to impress, and fluency will follow naturally. Part 4. Mistakes are proof you're growing. Let's talk about the thing most English learners fear the most. Mistakes. You mispronounce a word, forget grammar, or say something wrong, and suddenly you feel embarrassed. You think everyone is judging you. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not signs of failure. They're proof that you're growing. Every single person who learned English fluently made thousands of mistakes along the way. Think about it like this. When a child learns to ride a bicycle, they fall many times. But each fall teaches them balance, control, and confidence. If they never fell, they'd never learn to ride. It's the same with English. Every time you make a mistake, your brain learns. It corrects itself. It improves. The only people who never make mistakes are those who never try. The problem isn't the mistake, it's the way you think about it. When you see a mistake as shameful, you stop trying. But when you see it as a lesson, you grow faster. So instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," say, "I'm learning and every mistake makes me better." That shift in mindset changes everything. Even native speakers make mistakes. They forget words, use wrong tenses, or mix sentences. The difference is, they don't let it stop them. They keep speaking, they keep going. That's why they sound confident. Because confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence. So next time you make a mistake, smile. It means you're in motion. You're improving. You're doing something that most people are too afraid to do. You're trying. Every mistake you make today builds the mastery you'll have tomorrow. Remember this, your mistakes are your teachers. They show you where to grow, what to fix, and how to improve. So don't run from them, embrace them. Because the more mistakes you make, the faster you'll become fearless. Part 5. Practice out loud, daily. If you want to speak English confidently, here's the golden rule. You must practice out loud every single day, not once a week. Not only when you feel ready, every single day. Because speaking is not just about knowing words, it's about training your mouth, your tongue, and your mind to work together naturally. Think of it like going to the gym. If you only exercise once in a while, your muscles stay weak. But when you train daily, you get stronger, faster, and more confident. Your English works the same way. The more you speak, the sharper your skills become. You don't need a perfect partner or a classroom. You can talk to yourself in front of a mirror, describe what you're doing, or even narrate your day in English. The goal isn't perfection, it's repetition. When you speak out loud, something powerful happens. You start hearing your own voice in English. You get comfortable with the sound of it. You stop feeling shy. Slowly, speaking becomes natural. You start thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. That's when real fluency begins. Here's the truth. Your fear fades only when action replaces hesitation. Every word you speak out loud is a small victory against fear. Even 5 minutes of daily practice can change your confidence dramatically. So, make it a habit. Speak in the morning when you wake up. Speak while walking. Speak before bed. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. Remember, consistency beats talent. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to speak consistently. Each day you practice, you move one step closer to fluency. And one day, without realizing it, you'll speak smoothly and confidently because you trained for it. So stop waiting. Open your mouth. Speak out loud. Every word you say today shapes the confident English speaker you'll become tomorrow. Part 6. Build confidence. Step by step. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one step at a time. When it comes to speaking English, most people want instant confidence. They think one book, one class, or one video will erase their fear. But real confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows through small, consistent actions. Start simple. Don't pressure yourself to speak long sentences or difficult words at first. Begin with what you already know. Say short phrases like, "How are you?" or "I like this." Speak them clearly and proudly. When you do that every day, something powerful happens. Your mind starts believing, "Yes, I can speak English." That belief is the foundation of confidence. Confidence is built on experience. The more situations you face, the more courage you gain. Speak to your friends, talk to your phone camera, comment in English online. Just use it. Even when you feel nervous, do it anyway. Each time you face your fear, your comfort zone expands. You become stronger without even realizing it. And remember, confidence isn't about speaking without mistakes. It's about staying calm when you make them. It's about trusting yourself even when things don't sound perfect. The people who look confident aren't fearless. They've just learned to act in spite of fear. Here's a secret. Your body affects your confidence too. When you speak, stand tall, look up, and breathe deeply. Smile. Your posture tells your brain, "I'm ready." That small shift changes your energy instantly. Step by step, day by day, your confidence will grow. You won't wake up fluent, but one morning, you'll notice the fear is gone. You'll speak naturally without thinking twice. That's when you'll realize confidence was never a destination. It was a journey. So take that first step today. Speak one sentence out loud. Tomorrow, speak two. That's how confidence is built. One word, one step, one victory at a time. Part 7. Change your mindset. Change your fluency. Fluency begins in your mind, not in your mouth. The way you think about English shapes the way you speak it. If your thoughts are full of fear, "I can't speak well. I'll make mistakes. People will laugh at me," then that's exactly what your reality becomes. But if you change your mindset to, "I'm learning. Every day I'm improving. I have the courage to try," everything shifts. Your confidence rises. Your fluency grows. You see, your mindset is like a mirror. Whatever you believe inside reflects outside. When you believe English is hard, your brain finds reasons to agree. But when you believe it's possible, your brain starts searching for solutions. That's the power of positive belief. It's not magic. It's focus. You become what you think about most. Start by changing your self-talk. Instead of saying, "My English is bad," say, "My English is getting better every day." Instead of, "I'm afraid to speak," say, "I'm learning to express myself." These small mental shifts are powerful. They train your brain to move forward instead of freezing in fear. Remember, fluent people aren't smarter. They just think differently. They see English as an opportunity, not an obstacle. They don't see failure. They see feedback. They don't think, I can't, they think, not yet. That's the growth mindset, the belief that you can always improve with effort and time. When you adopt that mindset, fluency becomes natural. You start enjoying conversations, not dreading them. You start focusing on expressing ideas instead of avoiding mistakes. And slowly, English stops feeling like a subject. It becomes part of who you are. So, if you want to speak English fearlessly, start with your thoughts. Because when your mind says, I can, your voice will follow. Change your mindset and you change your fluency. Change your fluency and you change your life. Part 8. Use English in real life. Learning English isn't just about memorizing words or grammar rules. It's about using it in real life. You can read books, watch videos, or take classes, but if you never apply what you learn, your progress will be slow. Real fluency comes when you step out of your comfort zone and speak in real situations. Start small. Order food in English at a cafe. Chat with a friend in English for 5 minutes. Send a short message to someone online. These small actions might feel uncomfortable at first, but every time you speak in a real situation, you're training your brain and your mouth. You're telling yourself, I can do this in the real world. That confidence is priceless. Think about it. English is a tool to connect, to share ideas, to open doors. If you only practice in private, you're keeping the door closed. Using English in real life shows your brain that this language matters, and your skills start improving faster. You start noticing mistakes, learning new words, and thinking in English naturally. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Real life is messy, and real practice is messy too. You'll stumble, forget words, and make errors. That's normal. The key is action over hesitation. Every time you speak in real life, you reinforce your learning. You build habits. You gain courage. Also, notice the feedback. When you speak to someone, you hear how people respond. You learn what works, what doesn't, and how to adjust. This kind of learning is impossible in a textbook or classroom alone. Real interaction accelerates your growth. So make English part of your daily life. Talk, text, ask questions, and explore. Treat every conversation as an opportunity to improve. The more you use it, the less scary it becomes. The more you use it, the more fluent you become. Remember, language is alive. It grows when you use it. So step out, speak boldly, and let English become a natural part of your life. Part 9. Don't compare, just communicate. One of the biggest traps English learners fall into is comparison. You hear someone speak fluently, and suddenly doubt creeps in. I'll never be that good, or they're better than me. But here's the truth. Comparison kills progress. Every learner's journey is unique, and your only competition is yourself yesterday. Fluency is not a race. It's about communication, not perfection. The goal isn't to sound like a native speaker or to impress anyone. It's to express your thoughts clearly and confidently. When you focus on communicating rather than comparing, your fear disappears and your growth accelerates. You stop worrying about judgment and start practicing boldly. Think about it. Even fluent speakers make mistakes. They don't stop to compare themselves with others. They keep speaking. They focus on progress, learning, and connecting. That mindset is what creates real improvement. You must adopt it too. Comparison also creates unnecessary pressure. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you become afraid of mistakes and hesitate to speak. That silence feeds fear and blocks fluency. Instead, shift your focus to action. Speak, write, and practice every day. Measure your growth by your own effort, not someone else's achievement. Here's a simple rule. Ask yourself, am I communicating or am I competing? If your answer is communication, you're on the right path. Speak freely, make mistakes, learn, and improve. Every sentence you say is a step forward. Every conversation is practice, not a performance. Remember, English is a bridge, not a trophy. Use it to connect, to share ideas, to grow. Don't let comparison steal your confidence. Don't let perfection block your voice. Speak to communicate, and fluency will follow naturally. So today, stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own journey. Speak with courage. Speak with heart. Speak to connect. Because real success in English is measured by how boldly you communicate, not by how you stack up against anyone else. Part 10. Speak with heart, not just grammar. Many learners focus so much on grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary that they forget the most important part of speaking English. Heart. Language is more than rules. It's a tool to express your thoughts, emotions, and ideas. You can speak perfectly correct English, but if it's empty, it won't connect with anyone. True fluency comes when your words carry meaning, emotion, and authenticity. Don't let fear of making mistakes stop you from expressing yourself. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, your message can still be understood. People respond to confidence, clarity, and passion far more than to flawless sentences. The moment you speak from the heart, you break down barriers. Your voice becomes powerful, your communication becomes alive, and your English becomes real. Think of English as a bridge to connect with the world. If you focus only on grammar, you're building a fragile bridge that might collapse under pressure. But if you speak with heart, that bridge becomes strong and resilient. Your mistakes won't matter because your sincerity shines through. People will remember your courage, your ideas, and your spirit, not your errors. Remember, every fluent speaker started imperfectly. What set them apart was their ability to express themselves boldly. They spoke with passion, curiosity, and honesty. That's how you win over conversations, make meaningful connections, and grow your fluency. So don't just recite words. Feel them, live them, and say them boldly. Speak about things that matter to you. Tell your story. Share your thoughts. Laugh, ask questions, and even stumble. Because your heart makes your English unforgettable. The ultimate goal of learning English isn't perfection. It's connection. And connection happens when you speak with courage, authenticity, and heart. Speak from the heart, and your English will speak for you. By now, you've learned the most powerful truth about speaking English. It's not about perfection, vocabulary, or grammar. It's about courage, consistency, and heart. Fear will always try to stop you, mistakes will always happen, and comparing yourself to others is a trap. But none of that matters when you decide to speak anyway. Every fluent speaker you admire started exactly where you are now. They fell, stumbled, and made countless mistakes, but they never gave up. They practiced out loud daily, faced their fears step by step, and spoke with heart, not just rules. And that's what made all the difference. Your journey is the same. Start small. Speak every day. Focus on learning, not impressing. Treat mistakes as lessons. Step out of your comfort zone. Use English in real life. And above all, speak from your heart. Each sentence you say is a victory. Every conversation is progress. Every mistake is a teacher. Remember, fluency isn't a destination. It's a journey. A journey of courage, of persistence, of growth. The moment you decide to face your fear and open your mouth, you change everything. Confidence grows. Your voice strengthens. Your mind adapts. And slowly, fear transforms into freedom. So today, make a promise to yourself. Speak English without fear. Speak boldly, speak often, and speak with heart. Don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect words, or the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Every word you speak is a step toward mastery, confidence, and freedom. You have the power, you have the courage, and you have a voice. Use it, speak, grow, connect, and let English open the world to you.